Well, good evening, good evening. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Alrighty. Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Multiverse United 2, officially in the books. So, wanted to get up on here and give my review. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Multiverse United 2, From Whom the Bell Tolls, took place once again at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, just like the recent All-Star Junior Festival 2023 USA. So we're staying in the venue for this one. And another collab show, and this actually went pretty well. Overall, this went pretty well. Let's see. We had a total of 10 matches. 2 of them were pre-show matches. Of course, the pay-per-view was on Fight TV. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started reviewing this card, shall we? Alrighty. Let me get my graphics ready. Let me get my notes up. And alrighty. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so as I said, we had 2 pre-show matches. So this first one, we started off with a trios match, so 6-man tag. We had the team of Joe Hendry, Yuya Uemura, and Heath taking on the team of Master Wato, Rocky Romero, and Ryusuke Taguchi. So that was your opening contest. For the most part, thought it was a pretty decent match. Nothing too crazy or anything like that. I definitely like the synergy with Yuya and Joe Hendry. They've been really pushing that lately. So we still got to see a good bit of that in this match. Some pretty funny moments there with Ryusuke Taguchi and even Rocky Romero as well. But overall, decent match. I really can't complain. Nothing too crazy. Pretty action-packed for the most part. So, I can't complain. I really can't complain. Yuya Uemura ended up picking up the victory for his team after hitting a diving crossbody onto Ryusuke Taguchi and then pinning him for the 1-2-3. Kind of unexpected. I didn't think he would be the one to pick up the victory for his team. Also, nice double follow-away slam from Joe Hendry earlier in the match. Thought that was really cool. But Yuya Uemura picking up the victory for his team. Very nice. Very nice. But like I said, not a bad opening match. Definitely liked it for what it was. Alrighty. And then the second pre-show match, we had the Digital Media Championship on the line. As the champion, the K-I-N-G King, Kenny King, defended against New Japan Pro Wrestling's Yoshinobu Kanemaru, of course, from the Just 5 Guys faction. This match was okay. I mean, I find it kind of interesting that Yoshinobu Kanemaru was the one to get a shot at this title. But it was okay. I mean, I can't say that there was a lot of hype behind this. But, I mean, 2 good competitors in this match, That's really all I can say. I mean, I don't really, there wasn't really anything crazy memorable in this match. Kanemaru-san attempted to, spit the tequila or whiskey in Kenny King's face. That backfired. Kenny King eventually took advantage and was able to put away Yoshinobu Kanemaru with a royal flush and pins him for the 1-2-3. The KING King, still your Impact Digital Media Champion. And like I said, I think he's going to be champion for a good while. So, but okay match overall, you know. But that was your pre-show. Okay, and now we shall get started on the main card of Multiverse United 2. Here we go. Okay, they decided to start off the main card with the Junior Heavyweight X Division Scramble match. Had 8 total competitors. And I have to say, this was quite entertaining from start to finish. So, the competitors. We had Frankie Kazarian, BUSHI, Kevin Knight, Chris Sabin, Rich Swann, Mal, and El Desperado. Quite a lineup there. Quite a lineup of 8 great Junior/X Division stars. And I felt like we got to see a good bit of all 8 in this match. And it lasted pretty long. Had a good time to it as well. So I have to say, this was a very enjoyable match. You know, I'm very big on, you know, the junior heavyweights, the X Division, you know, very unique to Impact Wrestling. And, you know, the junior heavyweights, you know, very unique to New Japan Pro Wrestling. But definitely enjoyed this match from start to finish. I felt like everybody got a nice taste of offense in this match. But sure enough, Chris Sabin ends up the victor as he was able to put away Yo with a cradle shot, pinned him for the 1-2-3, and Chris Sabin is your victor. There was a moment that BUSHI, you know, went to congratulate him, raised his hand, extended the hand, shook his hand, and then spewed black mist into Chris Sabin's face. So he done started something. And it looks like, who knows, maybe we might see a singles showdown, maybe on Impact, between BUSHI and Chris Sabin. So, interesting angle that they've started there. BUSHI and Sabin. I'm down. I'm totally down. I'm down. That's all I can really say. But good victory for one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Okay. Let's move on to our next match. Okay. We had ourselves a tag team match. We had TMDK versus Impact. So for TMDK, the Mighty Don't Kneel, we had Zack Sabre Jr. and Shane Haste taking on, representing Team Impact, Moose and Eddie Edwards. This was a pretty enjoyable match. Moose and Eddie Edwards seem to have been on the same page. So, I mean, at least there's that. But, you know, the crowd were definitely pretty much behind Zack Sabre Jr. and Shane Haste for the most part. But you had some Moose fans in there. So, I thought overall this was a good battle between both these tag teams. I mean, it really went back and forth. But Moose was able to pick up the victory for Team Impact, hitting Shane Haste with a spear, pinning him for the 1-2-3. Team Impact picks up the victory over the Mighty Don't Kneel. But hey, it was really a match that could have gone either way for the most part. But felt like Team Impact was just a little stronger. Just a little stronger. But still, it was a really great match, back and forth. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Next up, which honestly, I was kind of surprised they had this next matchup next in the card. I figured they would have had this match a little later in the card, but hey, it is what it is. All right, the ladies are in action. This was the fatal four-way for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship. Oh yeah. We had Giulia of Stardom not only defending this title, but making her Impact Wrestling debut, defending the title against another woman who is making their Impact Wrestling debut in Stars Momo Kohgo. Also, Giselle Shaw and the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. I have to say, shout out to Momo Kohgo supporting some new gear. She came out to the ring first, had some new gear. So more new gear for Komomo, the Peach Star. Also, Giulia. The crowd went pretty wild for Giulia. And, you know, it was good to see her, you know, slap hands with some fans. And I believe she gave a kid her fan towel. I think a Giulia fan towel she gave to the kid or something like that. But, yeah, looks like Giulia's all for the kids. But yeah, she had a great entrance. I even like Momo Kohgo's entrance. Giselle Shaw, Deonna Purrazzo did their thing. There was a lot of hype behind this match, for sure. Now, I know there are some out there that were probably thinking this really should have been just Giulia versus Deonna Purrazzo. And I get it. But, you know, throwing Giselle Shaw and Momo Kohgo in there wasn't a bad idea. You know, I think overall this match was great. The one suicide dive that Giselle Shaw tried to do to the outside, pretty bad botch. But aside from that, I felt like the match was very solid. I thought it was a solid match between all four of these ladies. Momo Kohgo, I was very high on her. You know, Momo Kohgo, you know, ever since she's been doing these NJPW strong matches, you know, with whether it's, you know, a strong event or, you know, a collab event, you know, Momo Kohgo has been looking really solid. Especially since her match back at Resurgence. You know, she's been looking really strong. And of course, you know, she had the two matches at Independence Day. Or excuse me, the one match at Independence Day. But, you know, Momo Kohgo has been looking very solid since Resurgence. So, tonight was no different. Deonna Purrazzo looked really great. Giselle Shaw, like I said, aside from the botch dive, did really well. And it was really good to see the crowd very much into this match from start to finish. You know what I mean? That was really, really great to see. Not only that, all four ladies had a good amount of offense. I was pretty shocked to see Deonna Purrazzo actually hit Giulia with the Queen's Gambit and she kicked out. Honestly, I felt like when she hit that, I was like, whoa, are they going to put the title on Deonna Purrazzo? But she kicked out. But for the most part, this was a very action-packed match. All four ladies looked great. And when it was all said and done, Giulia retains the NJPW Strong Women's Championship. She pinned Giselle Shaw after hitting her with a Northern Lights bomb. So she retains. Momo Kohgo tried to attack her afterwards. They kind of had a scuffle, and then she hit Momo Kohgo with the Glorious Driver, putting her away. And Giulia reigns supreme. in the ring. And then afterwards, she greets a bunch of the fans and, a bunch of the kids as well. So definitely it looks like Giulia has become quite a fan favorite in the U.S. So, hey, that's pretty cool. And you know something? I gotta go ahead and throw this out there before we continue on the card. Being that they've had, some Stardom talent in the U.S. via Momo Kohgo and Giulia, and being that Giulia is your current strong women's champion, I could definitely see this as a strategy on Stardom's behalf, or just Bushiroad in general, to really plant some seeds in the U.S. and potentially start easing more Stardom talent into the U.S. for potentially a future Stardom show, Stardom tour, or even a Stardom collab show. Because when you think about it, Giulia is a Stardom talent. Not only that, she's the NJPW Strong Women's Champion. She's been willing to travel to the U.S. She wants to continue to wrestle in the U.S. She wants to wrestle in Italy as well. And now that she retained the title, she's on her way to Vegas for Fighting Spirit Unleashed October 28th. Another NJPW Strong event. So, I really hope... And Momo Kohgo is looking to continue that quest for this NJPW Strong Women's Championship. She has her mind set on that ever since the tournament. And I like how they keep having that storyline going. And I think eventually Giulia will defend that title one-on-one with Momo Kohgo. But my point is, being that you got two Stardom wrestlers, and then don't forget about Utami Hayashishita, who had a 4-match excursion in the U.S.? That's 3 right there. So I really feel like Bushiroad, little by little, are planting seeds. Potentially, I don't know when, but I think as more and more of these Stardom stars make a splash in the U.S., and the fans keep coming out and coming out and coming out and coming out, I think this will eventually lead to Bushiroad being convinced that, hey, let's consider either, number one, doing, a Stardom show in the U.S., like a big show. 2, consider doing a tour in the U.S., maybe sort of equivalent to NJPW Strong, you know what I mean? Or 3, they partner up with one of the U.S. promotions and runs a collab show or 2. If you ask me, I think a good ultimate plan, and I was discussing this with some of the folks in a pro wrestling Discord that I run. And I would love y'all's feedback on this as well. So definitely, I want to really see y'all in the comment section on this. We're going to get back to the card in a second, but bear with me. How would y'all feel about the idea of Bushiroad taking a chance with Stardom? Now, we have certain Stardom shows, Stardom Dream Queendom, Gold Rush, Midsummer Festival. There's certain names that we've seen pop up quite a bit when it comes to, Stardom shows. How would y'all feel about maybe next year they do a Stardom Queendom show, like a Dream Queendom show? How would y'all feel if they did a Stardom Dream Queendom show in the U.S.? Perhaps L.A., Madison Square Garden, you know, a big venue in the U.S. I would be curious to see if that would draw enough people. I'm very curious. You know? Or maybe the idea of a historic crossover in the U.S. And at least with that, you get a good dose of New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom. You know, and you could do a big venue for that. I mean, after all, a couple of years ago, we had G1 Supercard in the U.S. So, I mean, it's just a thought. And really, the whole idea is with the target being, this is the opportunity for Stardom to land in a big way in the U.S. Because they have done a few small shows in the past, pre-pandemic. But I think with the number of subscribers really increasing, especially with Stardom World, and just the type of presence it's getting, especially having the NJPW Strong title on a Stardom wrestler, it makes me wonder when eventually this will, the seed that's planted will get watered more and grow into something huge. Because I can honestly see either a big Stardom show in the U.S., them considering a Stardom tour in the U.S., like a handful of shows in the U.S., or partnering up and doing a big collab show in the U.S. Now, as far as partnering up, to be honest, I feel like the best fit would probably have to be Impact and Stardom. I hate to say it, because y'all know how I feel about the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Division. Y'all know how I feel about that. But I feel like the Knockouts, they have it together much better than, say, the AEW Women's Division. Maybe not by a whole lot, but, it's arguable. But that would probably be the promotion, especially when you got somebody like Gail Kim, who, has kind of been pushing for it. I think Stardom Impact, a collab between them, that would probably be my best fit if they were to consider a collab. It would be those two. But that's just me. But like I said, we'll see what happens. I mean, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling has already gotten off to a decent start. They finally had their first show in the U.S. via the Globe Theater in L.A. They just partnered up with Prestige Wrestling. They're going to be doing a collab show in December at the Globe Theater. So, I mean, little by little, we're seeing Joshi make an appearance in the U.S. Might be on a small scale for now, but I think it's going to get bigger over time. We just had Spark Joshi Pro Wrestling in the U.S. with a East Coast and a West Coast show. We got Kitsune Women's Wrestling coming up. A lot of Joshi talent there. Whatever the name of this upcoming promotion that's starting in September with the first show in New York, we got that coming up. So, just had to mention that. But Anyway, before we jump back on the card, here's a quick word on the sponsor for this video, Game Beauty. As you continue to watch and enjoy Blitzball Champ gaming content here on the U to the Tube, be sure you take a moment to check out the link to the description for Game Beauty. Game Beauty offers a variety of video game themed makeup and cosmetic products. They offer items such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, and even non-makeup items such as these graphic t-shirts. They also have collaboration items like this Persona 5 Royal Limited Edition makeup collection, as you can see here, which you can get it as a full collection, or you can get different bundles of this collection, as well as different pieces separately. Also, Game Beauty offers free domestic and international shipping to most countries for orders over $60. And be sure to use the promo code Blitzball_champ, all in caps, and you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to take advantage of that nice little discount. And now, back to our regularly scheduled video. Enjoy. Okay, now that I got all that out of the way, let's continue and finish the rest of this card, shall we? All right. Let's go. Okay, next up, this was originally just a regular singles match, but per Sami Callihan's suggestion, this ended up turning into a South Philly street fight. That's right, DOUKI versus Sami Callihan, South Philly street fight. DOUKI agreed to it, which means weapons free, no disqualification, anything goes. And I have to say, these two definitely went back and forth quite a bit, and DOUKI actually looked really strong in this match. I mean, I did not expect DOUKI to kick out of one Cactus Driver 97. I did not expect that, but I think it was kind of sort of a botch on the kick out, because the ref did technically, his hand hit the mat for 3, but you know, I think the timing of the kick out was off, but you know, just a minor botch there, minor botch. But this match was very intense, back and forth. We saw chairs, saw a ladder get involved, just weapons free, back and forth. But it took a second Cactus Driver 97, this time on a bed of chairs, from Sami Callihan to DOUKI, to finally put him away for the 1-2-3. But overall, you know, for these two being the main two in this match, I felt like they did good. Especially shout out to DOUKI. I felt like he did good against Sami Callihan. You know, I didn't expect him to win, but thought he did good. So hey, good match. Good match. Alrighty, let's see. Let's go on to our next match. Oh yeah, this was another pretty good one. Alrighty, we had ourselves another tag team match. This time we had a United Empire TMDK showdown. So, representing United Empire, we had Catch 2-2, made up of TJP and Francesco Akira, taking on the Mighty Don't Kneels, Robbie Eagles, and Kosei Fujita. This was a very exciting match. Both these teams looked really solid. Of course, you know, I definitely liked the synergy with both teams. And hey, you know, we got to remember, Kosei Fujita is coming off a victory at the All-Star Junior Festival. So, yeah, it was really, really good to see that. But yeah, back at it again. Teamed up with Robbie Eagles. Both teams look solid. Definitely back and forth. I felt like the crowd was pretty even, but I think more so for Catch 2-2. But yeah, this was a very enjoyable tag team match. And Catch 2-2 gets some great momentum going forward because, you know, they're still on the prowl to get back their IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles that currently Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd currently hold. Or no. Excuse me. Clark Connors and Dan Maloney. I'm sorry. So sorry. Anyway. Catch 2-2 picked up the victory as they nailed Kosei Fujita with their finishing double team, that knee, running double knee attack. TJP makes the cover, and Catch 2-2 walk away with the victory and, you know, celebrate it with some of the fans as they made their way up the ramp. So I thought that was really cool. Crowns up. So, a bad evening for TMDK. Two losses on this card for them. So, kind of a bummer. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Next up, we had the big showdown. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Bullet Club versus the World. The big 12-man tag team showdown. We had Bullet Club made up of Ace Austin, Chris Bay, David Finlay, Alex Coughlin, Kenta, and Clark Connors, taking on the World made up of PCO, Josh Alexander, Tamatanga Tangaloa, the DKC, and El Phantasmo. I have to say, this was a pretty chaotic match. Definitely all over the place. I wish it could have gone a little longer, though. I really feel like it should have gone longer. For the most part, very action-packed. Was not a fan of the finish, though. I thought the finish was very meh. As David Finlay puts away the DKC with just a power bomb. I mean, he didn't even do Into Oblivion or anything like that. Just a power bomb. That was it. I don't know if they were trying to rush to the end or what for time, but yeah, he just hit him with a power bomb and just pinned him 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So, Bullet Club walk away with the victory. But yeah, wasn't a fan of the finish. Action-packed match, terrible finish if you ask me. But it is what it is. Okay. Next up, alrighty, we had ourselves another tag team match. This time we had the team of Leo Rush and Trey Miguel taking on the team of Hiromu Takahashi and Speedball Mike Bailey. Gotta give shout out to Speedball and the Time Bomb. They were pretty much kind of wearing sort of matching outfits almost, it seemed. But this was a pretty entertaining tag team match. Definitely went back and forth. All four of these guys were solid. Very, very solid. Saw a handful of Daryls out in the crowd as well, so it was always good to see a handful of Daryls. But yeah, this was pretty action-packed. Really, both teams looked solid. It could have gone either way. But with some dirty tactics from Mr. the Bad Child, Lio Rush, he was able to take out Hiromu with a low blow and then turn it into a roll-up, pinned him for the 1-2-3. And Lio Rush, Trey Miguel pick up the victory in this tag team match. Lio Rush got on the mic afterwards and made the challenge to Hiromu. Hiromu, of course, is the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So Lio Rush is the current X Division Champion. He wants another set of gold. And it looked like Hiromu verbally accepted. Speedball wasn't too pleased with that, because Speedball felt like he was first in line. So, I don't know. This might end up turning into a triple threat. This might actually end up turning into a triple threat. Not sure when this match is going to happen, but it's clear that both Speedball Mike Bailey and Lio Rush want the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. So, we'll see what happens, but maybe it'll be a triple threat. Maybe Hiromu will do two separate defenses. We'll see. Okay. And then the main event of Multiverse United 2, From Whom the Bell Tolls. This was for the Impact World Championship. As the champion, one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, defends the title against the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi. This match was a pretty solid match. A good clash of styles between these two. And, teacher versus student. Of course, they have a good amount of history. I felt like this match could have been longer as well. Especially with the two that are in this match. But for the time that was allotted, this was still a very solid match. It was cool to see both taking advantage of, certain limbs. Of course, Alex Shelley taking advantage of the arm, elbow of Tanahashi. Tanahashi taking advantage of the knee. It was a good back and forth trading between the two. And pretty much, and a very beautiful avalanche air raid crash from Alex Shelley to Tanahashi. That was a sweet spot. Of course, Tanahashi did a handful of twist and shouts, did a sling blade or two. Wasn't able to connect on a high fly flow. He tried. But when it came down to it, Alex Shelley was able to eventually hit a super kick and then was able to finish off the ace. Hits him with a shell shock and then pins him for the 1-2-3. And Alex Shelley is still your Impact Wrestling World Champion. Congratulations. Great main event overall. With that out of the way, looks like Alex Shelley can shift his focus to Brian Myers, because Brian Myers is next in line to challenge for the title. But, yeah. That concludes Multiverse United 2. Good show. Philadelphia fans have had quite a weekend. Quite the weekend. Y'all were definitely spoiled. Very, very spoiled. So, good stuff. Really good stuff. But, oh man. now it's back to the regularly scheduled programming, I guess. But then again, you know, we still got the N1 Victory tournament still going on. We need to play some catch up with that. We still got 5-Star Grand Prix going on. So, you know, tournament season is still going on. Not quite done there. But, yeah. And then, of course, AEW's got the big all-in pay-per-view coming up at Wembley Stadium. So, got a good bit to look forward to. So, should be good. And hopefully they'll have the Stardom New Blood 10 full show on Stardom World. Hopefully the sooner the better. I think they said they were going to have it there on Monday. So, hopefully I'll be able to check that out. But anyway, that'll do it for this review. Don't forget to check out the link to Game Beauty. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And let me know 2 things. Let me know y'all's thoughts on Multiverse United 2. What did you think of the show? What did you think of the matches? Did you enjoy it? Also, let me know what your thoughts about how things are going and potentially seeds being planted. Do you think maybe within a year or so we'll see a Stardom US show, a US tour, or a collab show in the US? Let me know what your thoughts are. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed week coming up, and I will see y'all in the next video. Take care. Peace.